If you're not from Kansas City, Midtown might sound like just another generic part of town, but around here, it's the historic part of the city, one packed with streetcar lines, bustling neighborhoods, and some of Kansas City's most iconic architecture. Then it all fell off the map. The streetcars, they were ripped out and the suburbs took over and Midtown's population dropped by more than half. But now, everything is changing. The new KC streetcar extension is set to reconnect Midtown, downtown, the plaza, and beyond. And if history is any indication, that's gonna kick off a wave of development we haven't seen in generations. In this video, I'm breaking down why the streetcar could spark a full-blown revival, and we'll step inside two of the most unique historic homes in Kansas City, including one that's basically a real-life castle. In the 1950s, Midtown was one of the most connected, vibrant parts of Kansas City. Streetcars crisscrossed through neighborhoods, and more than 70,000 people called it home. But when the original streetcar system was dismantled, the suburbs took center stage and Midtown's momentum slowed. Over the decades, buildings sat vacant and investment shifted elsewhere. That story sounds familiar because it's the same one we used to tell about downtown. And then the KC streetcar ride. Since it launched in 2016, downtown has seen more than $4 billion in completed development, 9,000 new apartments, and a 44% jump in population. Now with the streetcar extending south through Midtown, we could be on the verge of seeing that same playbook unfold here. The Main Street extension is adding 3.5 miles of new track from Union Station all the way to 51st and Brookside Boulevard, right by UMKC. 16 new stops will connect some of Kansas City's most iconic neighborhoods: Union Hill, Westport, the Plaza, Brookside. This isn't just more of the same. The extension is built for speed, and a lot of it runs in dedicated red transit-only lanes, meaning fewer delays and smoother rides. The stops are spaced further apart so the streetcar can cruise at close to 30 miles an hour, and for anyone living in Midtown, this suddenly makes it possible to get from your front door to downtown's job centers, entertainment, and the river market without even touching your car. It's also going to link neighborhoods that for decades have felt a little too far apart: Brookside to the river market, Westport to Crown Center, the Plaza to Union Hill, and that web of connectivity is going to be a game changer, not just for commuters, but for small businesses, investors, and anyone betting on Midtown's future. You can already feel the shift happening along Main Street. Vacant buildings that sat untouched for years getting new life. Coffee shops, boutiques, and restaurants are moving in alongside brand new apartment buildings and mixed-use projects. It's the same pattern we saw downtown after the streetcar launched there in 2016, except this time the starting line is Midtown. And here's the thing, this isn't just about shiny new buildings, it's about walkability making a comeback. It's about people choosing to live in a place where they can hop on the streetcar, grab dinner in Westport, catch a concert at the Uptown, and be back home here in Union Hill without dealing with parking or traffic. You've got neighborhoods like the one right behind me with strong identities, Union Hill with its eclectic mix of historic homes and new homes and skyline views. You got Westport with its nightlife. You have the Plaza with its Spanish-style architecture, Brookside with its tree-lined streets, and local shops, all getting a new layer of energy and investment. Years of construction have been tough, no doubt, but now the finish line is in sight and there's a real sense that Midtown is stepping into its second act, and that act could be even bigger than the first. And with all this momentum, the housing market in Midtown is starting to reflect it. You've got residents who just a few years ago wouldn't have considered living here, now actively seeking out everything from classic shirtwaists to renovated bungalows and turn-of-the-century mansions. Prices, they're still all over the map depending on the block, but the trend is clear. Demand is rising, and every once in a while, something truly one-of-a-kind hits the market, the kind of property that turns heads even outside of Kansas City. Case in point, a 115-year-old stone castle in the Valentine neighborhood. It has a turret! Welcome to Valentine Castle. It's been a mansion, a brothel, several churches, a literary hub, and was recently featured on Zillow Gone Wild. Now it's up for sale. So let's step inside and see what $825,000 gets you in one of Midtown's most iconic homes. Now, this space has been completely reimagined, and the first thing that you notice when you walk in is this grand entryway with the U-shaped staircase. The ceilings are 13 feet tall, the floors are solid maple, and the windows are set inside 28-inch thick stone walls. Now, this main level is huge and open. I can only imagine the parties that you would throw here. It was probably a banquet hall in its heyday, and you have this beautiful fireplace as a centerpiece. The owner actually said that his kids have set this up as a bike track in the winter just because there's so much space. They move the furniture out of the way and just have a ton of fun when it's too cold outside to do anything. The kitchen here is spectacular. You have this 45 square foot granite island that is the centerpiece, and then the range with the backdrop of the original brick here. I think it just really brings the entire space together. This would be a heck of a spot to host a killer party. Now back through here, you have a mudroom and a full bathroom on the main level, but let's head upstairs and see what the bedrooms have in store. Now heading upstairs, this first level is actually just like a little lofted space. They have it set up as a reading nook. They've actually got a sword over here for the kiddos, which is very fitting for a castle. And they've actually said that their daughter has had princess parties here for Frozen themed Disney parties, which what an experience as a kid. Up here you have 6 bedrooms. So let's go up and check out the primary suite. You've got another lounge area out here, and then that opens up into this primary suite, which is massive. You have the tall ceilings in here as well, the thick inset windows, which the owners are actually using them as their little nightstands. They've got some books and stuff over there. His and her closet, and then these pocket doors, which open and shut into the primary ensuite bathroom with a soaking tub. They're really amazing finishes. Now up here on the top floor, this is where the turret is and where the real magic happens. You have 2 additional bedrooms, you have access to the turret. I just love all the little nooks that they have within this home. It is really a child's dream to live in a space like this, but let me know down in the comments, how would you utilize a space like this? Over the years, this place has seen it all. It's been a brothel, multiple churches, the writer's place. Now it's back to being a home and possibly one of the most unique properties in all of Kansas City. If you're interested in this or buying or selling anywhere in the Kansas City Metro, my team and I would love to help you. Book a call with us using the link in the description. Now, this one wastes no time showing off, starting with another amazing grand foyer. They actually have a book here. It looks like that he's kept track of people who have come over for parties and just visiting over the years while he's renovated this property. And what I love is just all of the original touches, and it's done an excellent job restoring it back to its former glory. The woodwork in this home is incredible. You got the original leaded windows here. I love this archway. It's kind of like the centerpiece when you walk into the home, and this amazing staircase over here, which will go upstairs here in a moment. But pointing back towards this side of the house, which would be facing east, you've got this grand living room area, and then back there as well, there's an additional flex space, which could be an office, an art studio, workout studio. I mean, you name it. The possibilities are really endless here. Love the stained glass. There's a ton of it throughout the house, and you also have these beautiful built-ins really everywhere. So there's one over here in the dining room, there's one in the living room, but they've done a phenomenal job really restoring this kitchen. So I don't even really think of this as like an updated kitchen, because I feel like they did such a good job of really tying it back to the originality and the history of the home. So you got the subway tile everywhere, this oversized farmhouse sink here that looks over the backyard. Plus, you've got a butler's pantry over here and like a prep kitchen with another sink. So just the details in the kitchen alone with the dishwasher, it's actually got a cabinet door instead of the stainless steel face. Just tiny little details like that really matter. But let's go down to the basement because I've got a surprise for you down there. Now, this is probably the coolest and nicest basement that I've ever seen in a historic home, starting with these spiral stairs. So this is one way to get down here. There's a door at the top, so it gives you some seclusion. This is actually its own separate apartment, complete with a full kitchen, a bedroom, a bathroom, and you've got a private entry out back. So you could rent this out theoretically, but I just love the way this space is set up. You've got a little living room over here, you got the dining room here, you got this arch window that looks out over the back terrace. This is really just a nice basement. I mean, something that you'd probably think you'd find in like a suburb home or something like that. So to find something like this in Hyde Park, Midtown area is really a unicorn. But let me know, what do you think about this basement space? Would you utilize it as an apartment or just as a flex space? I just love this space here. Again, you've got the leaded glass window, giant bay window area. I mean, the last two houses that we've been in have had some really cool landings, but this grand stairway, you come up here, you got the parquet floors, and then you got 5 bedrooms on this floor alone. So between just the main level and the second level, you've got a 5-bedroom house. Then you've got the apartment in the basement, but then there's also another apartment upstairs. So up here on the top floor is another apartment. And I think it's worth noting that this house actually used to be apartments, and the current owner has actually converted it into a single family home. So you could do a lot with it. I mean, it's really endless with this property, but this is a huge apartment. It's actually feels about twice as big as the basement apartment. You've got a really big bedroom over here, a full bathroom with a clawfoot tub, and then it's stubbed for a kitchen. It's not set up that way, but you could totally put a kitchen up here and then rent it out as an apartment or an Airbnb. You've got another bay window over here, and then a couple little cutouts, but come check this one out. We got this little hideaway in here. I mean, how much fun is this? This is so cool. Hi. But you do have you got a separate entry over here that goes out to the backyard. And then I got one more surprise for you with this house. It's the one that keeps on giving. So this is the last surprise that we have for you at this amazing property, and it's actually a carriage house over the 2-car garage. It is more of an Airbnb. There's not a kitchen or kitchenette in here, but there is a mini fridge. There is a full bathroom, and then you've got this lofted space up here with a full-size bed, full living area. There's some storage here. They've got some twin-size cots as well. So not only would you have the full 7-bedroom house, but you'd have income potential from this little carriage house Airbnb, which is pretty dope. For decades, people have driven through Midtown on their way to somewhere else. But now, between the streetcar extension, new businesses moving in, and historic homes like this one being brought back to life, it's starting to feel like the heart of the city once again. If you're considering buying or selling anywhere in the metro, we'd love to help you navigate this shifting market. Shoot us an email at info@movingtokc.net or book a call with us using the link in the description below. And if you want to see why I think Kansas City's growth story is just getting started, watch my video on the 5 reasons Kansas City will thrive over the next decade, and it'll give you a bigger picture on why neighborhoods like this are making a comeback. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.